Once again, I welcome you all to my online class. I'm Shivani, your English teacher. Students, today I'm making this video for class 8th and this is the second part of the poem Ozymandias written by P.B. Shelley. Today, we will be completing the question answer of this poem. But before that, let's have a quick recap of whatever we have read in previous video. In previous video, I've told you that in this poem, our poet P.B. Shelley is talking about a traveler whom he met, and the traveler came from a very old place. He came from an antique place. That traveler told our poet about two vast legs and trunkless legs. Means he told our poet about a statue who was without the upper part of the body. That those legs were buried in the desert, and nearby on sand a half and destroyed face lied. That face was actually the broken part of the statue, and the expressions on that statue was like a very cruel king. It was that statue had wrinkled lips, that statue had sneer of cold command. So that basically those expressions were like cruel expression. That statue was of the king. He was an Egyptian king. His name was Ozymandias. On the pedestal of that statue, on the pedestal of those legs, something was written. It was written that my name is Ozymandias and I am the king of kings. Okay, and when other kings will look upon my work, they will get sad. Now, the main thing is that, the irony is that the king thought he was the supreme power. But that was actually not the truth, because with the passage of time, his statue was destroyed. He thought that it would always be there, but it was not something like that. That statue was destroyed completely. So basically what we mean here is that nothing remains constant, not even the pride of a person. So let's quickly do the question answer of this poem. First question, answer these questions with reference to context. So different statements are given and you have to give the answer according to those statements. First one is, two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Trunkless means without upper part of the body. Okay, who doesn't have the upper part of the body. First, who is the speaker here? The traveler is the speaker because he was narrating whole thing to the poet. So यहाँ पर हमारा narrator था जो बता रहा था, यहाँ पर हमारा traveler था जो बता रहा था कि I saw a statue who was without upper part of body. Second, who is being described here? The statue of Ozymandias is being described here. Next, why do you think the poet used vast and trunkless here? The poet used vast and trunkless here because the legs of the statue were very big and without its upper body. Vast means something which is huge and trunkless means without its upper part of the body. Second statement, near them on the sand, half sunk a shattered means destroyed, visage means face, lies. What has happened to the head and the face of this statue? It has destroyed with the passage of time. Okay, so the statue, the face and the head of that statue was destroyed with the time period. How well has the face of the statue survived? The expressions of this statue like wrinkled lips, sneer and cold command and frown shows that the face of the statue has well survived. The sculptor had made this statue, the sculptor had mocked everything so well that the expressions were still readable on the statue. Why it is significant? This is significant because it tells the qualities of the king. Okay, so now let us come on the question answers. Question number 1. Whom did the traveler meet and where? The traveler met the speaker of the poem, who is our poet in this chapter, in a remote land. So the answer is the traveler met the speaker of the poem in remote land. Next question is, whose statue does the traveler talk about? Okay, so the question is about whose statue the poet is talking here. The traveler talks about the statue of Ozymandias. Okay, so Ozymandias, who is the Ozymandias? Ozymandias is the king of Egypt. Next question, how does the traveler describe this statue? Answer, the traveler describes that the two huge legs made of stone stood, and remaining part of the statue, which is the upper part of the body, that was missing. The face of the statue lay on the sand nearby. It was completely damaged and broken into different pieces. So this was the condition of statue when the traveler saw that statue. The statue was not in a very good condition. It was damaged. Okay, only trunkless legs were there, and the upper part of the body was missing. Its face was completely damaged, but expressions on the face was still readable. Next question, what does the traveler say about this sculptor? Which sculptor we are talking about here? The sculptor who made the statue of Ozymandias. The traveler says that the sculptor who had made this statue had read the expressions on the king's face very well, and he copied them on his statue so accurately, means so precisely, exactly. Those expressions continued to exist even after the king's death through his lifeless statue. Okay, so the sculptor who made this statue, he made this statue so well that this expressions on that damaged and broken statue was still readable. Next question, what do we learn about Ozymandias from his statue? We come to know that the king was very cruel and stone-hearted. Now, how do you get to know that the king was cruel and stone-hearted? Because it is mentioned in the poem that the expressions were very cold. Okay, there were frown and wrinkled lips. So these expressions show that the king was very cruel. Next question, what do you think happened to the statue over time and why? So basically here the poet is asking you the condition of statue, and he's asking you the reason why the condition of that statue became like that. The statue broke down with the passage of time, and its broken pieces could be seen lying around. The vast, means huge, the vast desert is stretched all around the statue of the great king Ozymandias was nowhere to be seen. Explain the line. And wrinkled lips and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor will those passions rid which yet survive. Now you have to explain this line. What does this line express here? The meaning of these lines are that the face of this statue had expressions of displeasure and taunting smile, and the words which described these expressions were sneer, cold command, and frown. The wrinkles and the lines of the face were also there. The poet says that the sculptor had read the expression of the king's face very well and copied it accurately. Next question, question number 8. Does Ozymandias have the legacy he wanted? What is the lasting impression? Answer, no, Ozymandias does not have that legacy. He wanted to be immortal in the history, that's why he made such a vast statue. That is why. Okay, that is why he made such a vast statue of his. But with the passage of time, the statue has been destroyed. In the poem, it is being told that he had wrinkled on his face, and the words which are written on the pedestal, it shows that he is lamenting on the past. Okay, so basically the question was that does Ozymandias, have that fame and name and legacy that he wanted? No, it was not there, because with the passage of time his statue was completely broken. It was an irony that he wanted, he wanted such name and fame that would never be, vanished, but that thing did not happen. And the last question is, why do you think the statue was made? What does it tell you about Ozymandias? I think the king has made his statue so that in future people can remember his name. He wanted to be immortal. It shows that he was a very ambitious king, cruel too. He wanted to be the supreme. But did that happen? No, that did not happen. So students, you have to write down these question answers in your fair copies, and if you find any other confusion, any other difficulty, you can ask me in the comment section. Don't forget to give your attendance in the comment section as well. We will meet up again in the next video. Till then, take care, stay safe.